Razavan to FightHype.com. I'm with my man. I don't think I've spoken to him in 2017. It's the first time.
It's the first time in 2017.
Spencer Fearon, aka The Knowledge. What's happening, Spence?
I'm blessed, highly favoured. I hope you can see BetSafe for doing. This is fantastic. I've never ever seen a boxing ring inside the O2. So massive big up to the sponsors. Massive big up to Matchroom. Matchroom will just keep on putting on the best shows, and massive big up to the home of boxing, which is Sky Sports TV, baby.
Spence, we're here today at the public workout for the anticipated clash between David Haye and Tony Bellew. It all kicked off on Monday. But I want to go back a couple of months. I want to go back when the fight was announced. Were you surprised that Tony Bellew was taking this significant step up to face someone like David Haye?
No, because if you look at somebody like Tony Bellew, he looked right for him. He relishes challenges, right? And he has a stubbornness to him, a pig-headedness to him that makes him believe anything that he wants, and he'll do his best at every conceivable moment. So no, not at all. He's never really liked David Haye, and now it's what he's asked for. He's got it.
Now, in terms of Tony stepping up here from light heavyweight to heavyweight, I know David, since he's come back from retirement, hasn't fought the formidable opponents that people would have liked him to. But in terms of power-wise, would there be a significant difference in power between someone in light heavy and heavy?
Yeah, of course there is.
Significant.
Significant punch. But yet also, it's not even like the case of significant power between light heavyweight and heavy. David Haye, as a light heavyweight in the amateurs, I know personally would knock out heavyweights, right? So this is but remember, Tony Bellew's been a heavyweight, being a big, he's been up in the weights when he was an amateur. So I don't think but here you got to say that somebody who's a gifted puncher, David Haye is a gifted puncher. And so it doesn't matter about the significant weight difference, or the weight's not the problem in here. It's the fact that David Haye is a puncher. But then you're saying that, what? So Tony Bellew can't punch? Tony Bellew can punch, right? He's been knocking out guys when he was a light heavyweight. He was knocking out guys, which we've seen in these two world title fights in Makabu and BJ Flores, knocking out guys, right? So now he's fighting at heavyweight. Hopefully he can bring that same force or power in the heavyweight division.
So you don't disagree, or you don't agree rather, with David Haye when he says that Dave Coldwell and Eddie Hearn have put Tony Bellew in a very difficult position to fighting one of the hardest heavyweight punchers out there?
No, because this is Tony Bellew wanted this fight. Tony Bellew had David Haye on his radar, not that way around. So no, it's got nothing to do with Dave Coldwell and David Haye. It's got to do with what Tony Bellew wants. Tony Bellew wants this. So fair play to him.
Social media is so big now. It's an opportunity for fans and fighters to give each other stick. We saw that with Mahara Davis and Gary Mackey on Monday at the open public press conference in Liverpool. It was quite crazy. I was there. The language that was used was...
It was industrial. It was very industrial. This is the game, right? And passions get risen, and passions are being risen for this fight. It's going to be interesting. The whole show is going to be interesting.
Have you got prediction for the fight? Ben, break this fight down for me. What does Tony have to do to win? What does David have to do to win?
I would say for someone like Tony Bellew, even though he can punch, George Foreman would constantly say never follow a puncher. So I wouldn't expect Tony Bellew to go and engage straight away with David Haye. I would expect him to be clever, because I don't think he's faster than David Haye. I don't think he punches harder than David Haye. So therefore, what is he got to do? He's got to use timing. And whereas Tony Bellew's been the person that's been active versus somebody who's been inactive in world class anyway. David Haye hasn't fought a competitive fight in 5 years, 4 years, 5 years. The Derek Chisora was his last competitive fight, right? So Tony Bellew would not have to engage early, but use timing every time that David Haye flinches to throw a shot. You know what I mean? And then side to side, 1 step backwards, no more than 2 steps, because 2 steps then you're back on the ropes. Don't be back on the ropes against someone like David Haye, and side to side, perpetual movement. That's what Tony Bellew would have to do. And because Tony's got a really good jab. He's got a really good jab, left hook, right hand, because he's quick, right? He's gonna have to keep on doing that right throughout this fight. Right throughout this fight. We never know what David Haye's got. The thing is there's tangibilities of this fight because we don't know what David Haye's got left. Everyone's expecting David Haye to knock out Tony Bellew, right? That's foregone conclusion. He's gonna knock him out. Tony Bellew is stubborn and tough. This is gonna be a really, really good fight.
You think, I know you said about Tony Bellew, staying away from David in the first early rounds. David's speed is obviously got faster speed than Tony. But do you think Tony will just get emotionally attached to the fight when he gets in that ring? Things sometimes change and your mind starts thinking other things.
Can't really hear because we're speaking over this guy right now.
No, we got it.
Right.
Undefeated record.
Sorry, say that again. Repeat the question again.
So obviously they're going to have a plan to fight David Haye in the ring, but do you think Tony's going to get too emotionally involved once in the ring?
No. Right, Tony's a clever guy. Sometimes emotion will get the better of him because he just wants to go and knock you out. But in this, Tony's a very intelligent man, a man who studies boxing. You know what I mean? He studies the game. He also studies history. So I don't think emotion will get the better of him at all. I think they've got a game plan. Dave Coolwell's a very clever human being as well. Dave Coolwell's got a game plan to a game plan to a game plan. So he's working out game plans. And plus, he also knows David Haye. He's worked with David Haye, right? So, yeah, I believe that Tony Bellew will be able to stick to a game plan.
What's Spencer Fearon's prediction for Saturday night?
No prediction. I'm not giving, and no, I'm not even sitting on the fence on this one because I know both men. Well, I know both, and out of respect to both men, but I know who is gonna win the fight. Do you know what I mean? I know who I want to win the fight, and then off of that, then I'm saying then we're gonna leave it at that. That's not me. I know both of the guys, but what I am saying is this: I'm looking forward to this fight because if this fight's a 1-round blowout, it's not good for British boxing. It's not going to be a 1-round blowout. It's going to be exciting.
Just finally, I forgot to mention, a lot of rumours are speaking about David Haye and injuries. He flew out to Germany yesterday. The Sun and the Mirror are both quoting big story, but we know what the tabloids are like.
Listen. David Haye's back. We've just seen his Insta where he's back, driving back from. So I'm not buying into any of that. Germany, the flight to Germany is 1 hour and 10 minutes, right? So I'm not listening to any. I'm not listening. Tabloids. You know what I mean? There's most probably a rival promoter trying to hamper things, trying to mash up things. Right, all I've got to say is this is a fantastic show. Tune in to watch the fight on Sky Sports Box Office because it will be absolutely fantastic.